everyone. It looks like I'm live on my phone, and I'm just double checking that I can see you guys over on the YouTube channel. So just give me a minute. Let's just see if I can get it to show up here because I want to see if anyone has comments. There we go. Make sure that we don't have the volume up here. Okay, looks good. Looks like I'm live. Just double checking. Okay, I see some movement, and I know there's a delay, so I'm just double checking before we get going. Okay, looks like I'm good. All right, well, welcome to May 1st. Hopefully you're having a great, what day is it? Wednesday, Wednesday afternoon. I am kind of relieved that we are here. It's been a long month of back and forth, trying to learn new things, trying to remember the old things, trying to be having a foot in both worlds, sort of with Close to My Heart, and then having a foot in Stamping Up, but not really having a foot in Stamping Up. And it's just been kind of a long month, but we're here, and I'm really excited to really get going and to start creating with Stampin' Up products. Today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through the catalog which launched today. Part of the reason I wanted to do that is obviously this catalog is new to me, and it's also new to you. It's a new design, it's a new style catalog compared to their old catalogs, and I thought I would walk through kind of what I've done. And then I'll also kind of show you throughout kind of the things that I've gotten, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do on Saturday with the products that I got in my starter kit, because I couldn't really buy anything until today. And so everything that I needed to buy in my starter kit, I was going to be using on my National Scrapbook Day lives that I'm going to be doing here on YouTube on Saturday. All right, so all that out of the way, this is the new annual catalog, and today we can open it up and look at it as demonstrators. And you'll notice that I have a bunch of tabs along the top and down the side. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. This catalog is it's very different than the previous catalogs from Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up had a very traditional catalog in what we're used to sort of in the crafting world, where we've got, nice big pictures of the stamp sets, artwork in the back. It tends to have the tools and accessories. There's the bling all on one page, and then there was let's see, the dies are kind of all grouped together as well. So here's some accessories, but these are dies here on this page at a much smaller scale. And then I think there's bundles as well, also listed here in the back, and these are again much smaller scale than what than what we're going to see in the new catalog. But it is quite a different layout in the new catalog that's coming out now, or is out today. I did get mine spiral bound. I did that for this one. I don't normally do this, and the reason being is I think I'm going to be wanting to fold it back on itself so that I take up less space on my desk. I do realize that after I did the spiral bounding that I really don't like it from a storage perspective. I like to keep these on in a bookcase, and I like having the information about what catalog it is. And so I probably will not do that with any subsequent catalogs. Annual catalogs do the spiral binding if they stay this small, because again, when I turn this up on the edge, I'm not going to know which catalog it is. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a thing for me that I didn't like after I got it spiral bound. I do have a front cover on it, and then I've got the full catalog behind it. You'll notice a piece of washi tape down here. This is a trick I started doing probably about a year and a half ago, where I would put a piece of washi tape on my catalog or catalogs, and then when I bought something that was a non-consumable, so stamps and dies and things like that, I would then tag each one of those packages with the same washi tape. So I would have the washi tape here, and I have the washi tape on the actual packaging. And that allowed me to identify really quickly which catalog I had purchased those items in. So I could reference it back for ideas, or I could reference it back if I needed to find out some more information about that particular stamp set or die or whatever. I don't do it for consumables. I only do it for the stamps and dies, embossing folders, things like that. So again, it just allows me to reference it when I am looking for things, or if I see these on my shelf, I'll know which catalog I bought these from. Again, that was another reason when I looked at this after I thought about it, that really doesn't work. Normally I would have the washi tape across the spine of that catalog, and so it's really easy for me to look on my bookshelf for the matching washi tape. So again, another reason why I probably will not do a spiral bound again. Okay, so that's all of that. And feel free if you have questions to ask them in the chat. I'm trying to check it every once in a while. It's over here on the right hand side of me, so I'll keep checking if people have questions. All right, so let's talk about the tabs at the top, and let's talk about this catalog. The style of catalog is much more a lifestyle type of catalog layout. Think about it like a Pottery Barn catalog. That's the best analogy that I can give you as to the layout. They are not using it as a full catalog. They're using it more as a lifestyle idea book with products in it. So across the top, what I have are programs or techniques or informational pieces are right up here at the top. So I've got the programs, I've got techniques, both crafting techniques and stamping techniques, color theory, and then index and a few other things. And then down the right hand side of this is where I have tabbed the products themselves, the suites, the bundles, the encore, the backgrounds, organization, scrapbooking, holiday, embellishments, adhesives, embossing. So all of that's down that right hand side. And then along the top is all of those other categories or programs. And I'm hoping that helps me find things in the catalog quickly as I'm looking at them. So let's start along the top, and I'm going to start right here with kits and paper pumpkin. And so when I open this up to this page, and again, there is a logic to this catalog. There are sections that they've set up. Step-by-step crafting, quick and easy options, and then creativity. And the way that they describe these sections is really about the amount of time or the amount of effort that somebody might want to put into their crafting. The step-by-step is really meant for people who are brand new, who don't know if they want to get into this paper crafting, card making, scrapbooking, all of that stuff. And everything comes in that paper pumpkin box, except for maybe a pair of scissors. But everything else comes, and all they have to do is assemble. They don't have to do anything else, right? So that's someone who just wants to sort of dip their toe into the crafting world, or they don't have a lot of time to craft, and it allows them to create these handmade cards that they can give out to friends and family. The quick and easy option, which is the second option, is a little bit more involved. You are going to get a kit, but you can manipulate that kit in other ways. You can add more creativity to it. So there's still a lot of product that has been given in the kits, but it allows you to use things that maybe you have bought and level it up. And then the creativity your way section is really about the mixing and matching of all of the products and creating your own things and using the ideas from the book to help you create. And you're probably a more experienced crafter, and you've got a lot more products that you have available to you or that you want to use. So you've got you've got a good selection of inks, you've got a good selection of cardstock, you've got other stamps or dies that you can coordinate with the new things. So again, the idea is introductory crafters. I would still say introductory to not intermediate, but again, quick and easy options that people can take on the go with them, or that they can do in a much shorter period of time. And then the creativity your way is more of the intense crafting. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so Paper Pumpkin and kits are that first section. And Paper Pumpkin, again, is really the starting point to get people in. And you're going to see QR codes throughout this catalog. And the reason being is that with the kits, they can only show you so many in an annual catalog. And the idea is that a customer can go to this QR code and see the current kits that are available. They are showing 3 of the kits here, and these are part of that that creativity piece here, right? This quick and easy option. That's what this is. A little bit more involved in creating here. And then the Paper Pumpkin also has, and it's kind of hard because it's kind of a tone on tone, it has a QR code right here as well for that subscription. So the idea is that these kits that you see here, this kit collection and Paper Pumpkin, the subscription, allow people to take this on the go and really get their feet wet with scrapbooking or with card making. For the most part right now, it's almost all card making. Then the quick and easy option, you're getting a little bit more into the details. And so this top 10 up here at the top, right, this top 10, these are the top 10 supplies that someone who is getting a little bit more involved in crafting should have as a baseline. The scissors, the glue, the dimensionals, inks, whether or not it's the spots or full ink pads, blocks obviously for stamping, a stamp set, possibly a punch, your blank canvases, whatever those are, cards or scrapbooks, your chamois, and then us as demonstrators. So these are the things that people should have sort of as their base toolkit, and trying to give that information to people. And then when we get to the quick and easy part of so in the kits, everything comes in those kits for you to do, right? Everything is there and available. With the quick and easy, you're able to mix and match. So the idea is you pick which of your card bases you want. Then you pick an ephemera pack. And then you have the sentiment stamp. And this allows you to create your own set of cards that are unique to your design style, right? And that's the idea behind this. And then they've got examples on the pages to show you some ideas. Then the next part is basic card idea designs down here at the bottom. And this is really helpful for those crafters who are moving out of the kits and really trying to do more. And they've got really basic, actually some of these aren't so basic, but they've got some inspirational designs that you can then create with the materials that you have gotten, right? So you can change up what's there. And then they've got color families, so people can get used to how to mix and match colors that go together, the settles, the brights, the regals, and the neutrals, and how those all go together. And again, more stamp sets that are being allowed, that are recommended for this type of crafter who's moving up into something a little bit more detailed than the kits. There are these memory packs, memory and more card packs. In Close to My Heart world, we would have called these PMLs, Picture My Life cards. You can grab these, and these can be card bases or card fronts. And they've got some ideas here as well to show you how you can change these into card fronts, but you can also use them in scrapbooking as part of a pocket scrapbooking idea, or you can cut them up and use them in various different ways. So as you can already tell, the products are not organized necessarily in groupings of things. They're scattered throughout this book, and so that makes it a little bit more challenging maybe for customers to find what they're looking for or to find these hidden gems. This is, to me, a page that very easily could get lost in the overall catalog because it doesn't really scream that these are products. And so I think as demonstrators, we're going to have to be very conscious of that we're pointing these things out to customers, that these like Memory Plus cards are there. All right, so then moving on to this next page, this is actually going to be a great scrapbooking set because these are punch outs. This section, these right here are a bunch of punch outs, and then these are cut aparts that you can cut that paper apart, and then you've got some really great papers. So this is one of the things that's on my list for the next purchase that I do, because I think this is going to make it very easy for us to create a number of scrapbooking layouts using these punch outs, ephemera pieces to create that. But again, you can see a whole bunch of ideas where you can take this paper, cut it down, use the ephemera, and then if you wanted to get the peony there. All right, so the next section is going to be all of that creativity your way, which is, again, the more advanced scrapbooker or people who have a lot more products. Going up along the top, again, I've got techniques, I've got crafting ideas, crafting techniques, color theory, color collections, index, color combos, and hostess info. So if I just flip to techniques, this is going to show you stamps and blocks and things like that, but it's really talking about the different techniques of using the back side of the stamp and the front side of the stamp for double play. Or it's a picture perfect stamp where you're using these stamps to create a background. It's looking a lot more at stamping techniques that you can use versus necessarily the products themselves. This is step out, right? So this is a stamp, you stamp your base, then you have different layers that you can put on top of it, and then some stamp sets that show you that that will work with that technique. You've got the scene where you can change the scene and use daubers to color in the different stamp pieces. So the techniques is a section, and there are stamps that are shown throughout it, but the focus is about the technique, not necessarily the stamp set themselves, which is why this is much more like an idea book or a reference book than it is a catalog this time. The same thing goes for crafting ideas. The crafting ideas are really more about times that you would want to craft, whether it's memory making. Again, this is designer series papers down here that are on the in colors. These you can get subtles, regals, neutrals, in colors, both the new in colors and last year's in colors. Again, it's hidden. I'm not sure that people would realize that this is here. So again, it's going to be kind of up to us to make sure that we can help you guys find things. And then celebrating events, right? Celebrating the year, whether it's fall or celebrating summer or celebrating Valentine's Day, whatever that might be. So celebrations are times that you can craft. Just creating fun things with your kids, and having that special time with your family. Crafting again with kids here and creating with them in mind. And then invitations, building invitations. So again, the idea is more about the ways that you can use the products and not necessarily the products themselves, even though you can see on all of these pages that there are products. Sorry, I need to take a drink of water there. Um, so, again, just trying to help you see the organization of this and understand what they were doing. All right, craft techniques is again another section. This is a watercoloring technique, how you can paint with water, pencil, spritz, and pastels, how you can use these different products and how you can watercolor. And then it's featuring a set that works really well with a watercolor technique. And then movement, so creating fun folds. How do you do that? Why would you do that, etc. So peekaboo, sliders, fun folds, things like that. And then shake it up, shaker cards, all of those things. So again, that is under craft techniques or stamp techniques. And so masking is another one, so you can get depth and dimension, all of those things. And again, featuring a set that you could use for that particular technique. The next section is color theory. And this we have the color wheel that came out on stage. And this color wheel has all of the colors plus the in colors on it as well. So this is a really great reference. And it talks about color theory and monochromatic, complementary, analogous, and triadic, and how you can build those colors, giving you some examples of what these different types of colors would be. I am trying to build a piece that can go on top of this that will show you these different areas. It's not working too well right now. I have to fiddle with it a bit more. If I can get it to work, I will post it in my insiders group on Facebook as a PDF download that you could download, and then you could use against this color wheel to be able to identify different monochromatic or complementary, analogous, or triadic colorways around the full color wheel. So again, the size is a little bit small, and the space that I have here is a little bit small, so I'm still playing around with it to get it to work. And if I can get it to work, like I said, I'll try and upload it into my files on my Facebook page, my Facebook group. So color theory then leads into color collections, and these are the standard collections that Stampin' Up! Has, and then the in colors here on the last, as well as the basics. So again, the new in colors are all listed here as well. The last thing that I think is going to be really helpful for customers is, hey Carol, they will offer will they offer the color wheel as a product that we can hold in our hands? The answer to that is yes. They are working on doing this color wheel as a offering later this year. My understanding is it's going to be sometime around the December timeframe that they will have this as a product that can be bought. So what they did is they took the color wheel that they gave out on stage, and they are going to try and mass produce it, and it will have all of the colors that are the standard colors. They won't have the in colors on that color wheel. So these in colors that are for this year and for these ones on this page will not be on that color wheel. Only the and again, I'm trying to learn all the color families: the subtles, the brights, the regals, the neutrals, and the basics, which will be on the back of the color wheel possibly. Those are the only ones that will be on it. So I don't know how much it's going to be yet or when it's going to come out, but they are in production, or trying to get in production. So hopefully that helps, Carol. Okay, the index. The index is going to become more important now that the layout of this catalog is so different, because you're probably going to go to this index more often to find something that you're looking for. So just as an example, the index is set up for embellishments. What embellishments, what page are they on? the dies, because now the dies are scattered all across the catalog, unlike the previous catalogs where the dies were all in one section of the catalog. These are spread across many pages. We go from page 37 to page 98 to page 65. They are alphabetical on this index, and then it gives you the page. Say you're looking for paper, the cards and envelopes. Where are the cards and envelopes? So this is going to be across, again, multiple pages. The basic white, the medium envelopes, the note cards, etc. So they're going to show you which pages. The item numbers are also listed here, so that can be very helpful, so that if you already know what you want to order, you don't need to worry about going to that page and finding the item number. It is right there on the index. So if nothing else, you may want to tab the index so that you can get to it very quickly. All right, so that's the end of the physical catalog, but I've got a couple more tabs here at the top. And so what I've done on my catalog is at the back, I have actually pulled out the color combos. These are color combos that Stampin' Up! Has provided demonstrators as a way to help people pick complementary, I shouldn't even say complementary, colors that go together, whether they're complementary or analogous or monochromatic. These are just some color options that you can start with. So I thought I would be great for me just to have this, because I'm still trying to learn all of the new colors and what might go together. It's a great little reference point. Again, I've printed this out in just regular paper and just added it to the back. So again, it's just a section here. The PDF copy of this is also in my Facebook Insiders group. So I did add this as another handout in there. And then at the back, the last piece, there is only a page that references Hostess information. Reason being is that, and I think it's at the very back here, it has a QR code. Gathering is fun and rewarding, but there's no real information here in the catalog anymore about the Hostess program or the joining of Stampin' Up! If you wanted to be a demonstrator. So what I decided I was going to do is because I'm new, and again, I need things handily available to me so I can understand it. I did go ahead and just pull in the information about being a hostess. What are the rewards, at what levels, and just some basic information so that I had it handy, and I put that in there. And then anytime that we have a join special, I will just take a copy just like this. I'll put it in there so that I have that handy in case I need it, and I can refer to it quick. So as of today, we have a new join special that allows you to join up today. And if you join today, you get an additional $82 worth of product in your starter kit, which are the new in colors, the 5 new colors, the 8.5 by 11 cardstock, that designer series papers, that 6x6 that I showed you a little bit earlier. That comes with that. That's about 42 pieces of paper, and then Stampin' Right markers. So this is an addition to the $125 of product that you get to choose yourself, and then the paper pumpkin retired kit that you get. So again, really good kickoff to the new catalog and to the end colors. The last thing I wanted to talk about in colors, which it fell out of my catalog because I just got this today, is if you're a close to my heart customer and you have a lot of cardstock, or you have your ink pads, which you might be able to kind of see down here, my ink pads are right there. Stampin' Up! Has put together a color comparison. So on the left hand side are the close to my heart colors. The right hand side are the matching Stampin' Up! Colors. And there are some colors that don't have a comparison, like clover, they don't have a comparison for. Linen, they don't have a comparison for. So they've done a pretty good job. I would say that looking at some of them, I don't necessarily agree with their color matches. There was a couple here, Periwinkle and Boho Blue. It's kind of hard to see on this screen. I don't really think that those are that close. I actually think Boho Blue and our old Bluebell is probably a lot closer in color. But again, they were only taking the current colors that were part of our old Close to My Heart catalogs. So again, this is another resource in my uh, uh, insiders group on Facebook, so that you could download that as well. All right, so that's the top. And I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I think it warrants talking about because this catalog is so different. Down the right hand side, this should be fairly fast. These are products. So these are the sections where the products are. So again, they're set up fairly straightforward. They've built suites. And the reason that they've sort of changed this according to them is that they wanted to give more space for the suites. They wanted to provide more, they wanted to provide the papers bigger. They wanted to provide the dies bigger. They wanted to provide the stamp sets bigger, and then create a montage of the collection here. Again, you see this QR code in the upper corner so that you can go straight to this collection on the website. And essentially what they've done is each one of the represented pieces of artwork is representing some combination or something about the collection itself. So one piece of artwork is going to be featuring the stamp set. Another piece of artwork is going to be featuring the dies. Another piece of artwork is going to be featuring just the papers. And a third piece of the artwork is going to be featuring all of the collection. So their idea is that they were trying to create a piece of artwork for each part of that collection, so that you could see how it could be mixed and matched. Color comparison chart. Oh, you're welcome. I didn't create it. All I did was download it. We've been trying to do it ourselves as old makers, but I think Stampin' Up! Did a great job in putting it together, so I'm glad that'll be helpful. All right, so then there's a multiple sets of collections. Take to the Sky is a collection that I have, and so I'll just gonna bring this over. Again, if you're an old Close to My Heart maker or customer, hopefully you saved your bags, because they are going to now become very handy. I like to keep my papers in the bags if they're not cardstock, and that so I'm pulling out all of my bags that I've stored in my closet and putting them to good use. So this paper collection is a paper collection that I'm going to be using on Saturday. This is Take to the Sky. I did not buy the stamp and die. For me, the stamp set, it's beautiful. I like it. I like the clouds. I like the texture, but the airplanes for me were just a little bit too old-fashioned, and I didn't really feel like it worked for me. The dies, again, very similarly, they did not necessarily work for me in my style, and I didn't buy the coordinating industrial trinkets. I don't like to put metal on my layouts, even though these don't look like they're two-dimensional. I just feel like they could damage other layouts that are laying next to each other. So because I'm primarily a scrapbooker, that didn't really work necessarily for me. So I only bought the papers. And so the papers are actually really good colors and really great textural layouts. And I will be able to create some interesting things with this paper with a travel theme. And the other thing I liked about it from a scrapbooking perspective is the tags down here and then the pieces I can cut apart. So again, it allows me to use this paper in a very easy way from a scrapbooking perspective, because a lot of these papers are more of the types of things that we would use for scrapbooking. This paper is probably one that would be the hardest for me to use in scrapbooking. I have to make it smaller. Their paper designs are meant to be cut up to put on cards, and so they have the way that they're designed is not quite as conducive to scrapbooking. But again, this set I felt was really really usable from a travel perspective. So on Saturday, I will be doing a travel layout with this. And I am going to be using Close to My Heart cardstock as part of this because they don't have 12 by 12 cardstock as individual. And I don't want to buy a bundle of cardstock of stuff that I'm probably not going to use. And I like our two-tone cardstock. They are coming out with two-toned white core cardstock later this year, sometime in late fall. And so I'm going to wait until then before I get any amounts of cardstock per se. I'm going to just use my Close to My Heart cardstock. And so what I did when I looked at this collection, our Old New England Ivy works really well with the greens. So I felt like that really was a very close match. As I said, Boho Blue is this blue, and this is Bluebell. It's close. I think it's closer than Periwinkle. It's not perfect. If I turn it over to the light side, I think it's a little bit better. So I'm gonna use that one. Sapphire, that was a no-brainer. I mean, that's pretty darn close, so that's good. And then we have this color down here, which is something copper, I believe. And again, I'm trying to learn all the names. So I pulled out Desert Rose. I thought that might work. The light side of Desert Rose would be a tone-on-tone option. And I went then to my old stash and I pulled out Cinnamon. And I think the light side of Cinnamon actually works a little bit better. So again, I went through just what I had. The grays were a little bit tough. I only have I think this is pewter, actually. I wrote charcoal. This is pewter. So the pewter, light side of pewter actually goes really well with the grays. So this isn't charcoal, it's pewter. So anyway, that's what I have decided that I'm going to use as part of the Take to the Sky travel layout that I'm going to use on Saturday. Okay. Again, a few more types of collections, various different collections. This is a 6x6 paper versus a 12x12. This is a 6x6 paper. But again, the collections are kind of all together. Bundles are the next section, and bundles are the collection, the grouping of stamp, thin cut, and in this case they also have decorative masks or stencils, depending on how you think about them. And these are bundled together. These are new products. There's a 10% discount on them, and so if you buy it as a bundle, then you will get that 10% discount. One of the nice things about Stampin' Up! That I really like is this encore section. These are stamps that are carried over, dies that are carried over from one catalog to another catalog. So from last year's annual catalog to this year's annual catalog. It gives us a chance to continue working with those stamps and to continue to create with them. And I think this is a really great addition to what we do, is being able to do that. So the logic behind this is they shrank this down. They shrank these down to smaller pictures because they had already been represented in the previous catalog, and so they didn't feel like they wanted to show the whole them at the bigger sizes. They wanted to show those collections at bigger sizes and the new bundles at bigger sizes. And these are not bundled anymore. So this would have been a bundle in the last catalog. It's now no longer a bundle. You would need to buy those individually. So that's the Encore. I did pull out the blocks. They have different block sizes than we had at Close to My Heart. So I'm just trying to figure out which blocks work with which stamp sets. So I wanted to highlight that. Background stamps, again, I thought was important for me to know where the background stamps were in case I needed them. Organization, for people who are interested in purchasing any of the organization pieces. Again, we looked at this scrapbooking page. Again, this is the only section of scrapbooking that they have, so hopefully we will get a lot more as we move forward. Holidays, I just tagged this just because it does show the snowflakes, it does show the Valentines and things like that. I'm sure the mini catalogs will have more. Accessories and embellishments. So this is the metallic paper. I am going to be using this hopefully as well in the layouts that I'm going to be working on Saturday, as well as the ribbon. They have ribbon now. We didn't have ribbon, so that's kind of nice. If you're a ribbon person, we'll have that opportunity to use ribbon. We've got all these fun embellishments. Some of these I'm going to be getting very soon. And then the adhesives. Adhesives are important. And so I did get in my starter kit the Stamp and Seal, which is not the plus, the Simply Essential Stamp and Seal. I'm going to try it out and see how I like it. They also have foam strips, and foam strips are and dimensionals are the two ways that we can do pop-ups. So I did get some of the dimensionals to try. These aren't as tall as our old thick 3D foam tape. They're a little bit smaller. I don't know about the thickness of these dimensionals themselves. I'm gonna have to see. It says it's 1/8 of an inch, which I think that's the width, but I don't know how deep it is. So I don't know how those are going to work. So I'm going to have to try that and see how that goes. And then the embossing folders are all on one page, whereas before they may have been grouped differently in the previous catalogs. And they have a lot of really great embossing folders. They've got patterns and organics and then hybrids. Hybrids are where it pairs with the stamp. Pairs with the die cut, and you can emboss it and then die cut it out. So that's kind of cool and new and unique. All right. And then the last pieces here again are the coloring. These are the blenders. They don't really talk about all of the blenders, which is why I didn't really mark it. These are the Memento ink. They don't have an intense black like we had our own intense black. They use Memento instead, so that's listed here. And then the blending pens that are the neutrals, but everything else color-wise is going to be here on the color collections section, where you can find the cardstock, the pad, the blends, and the ink refills, and then anything else that you would need from a color collection perspective. All right, so that is the catalog walkthrough. I do want to just quickly show you the other two paper patterns that I'm going to work with on Saturday. This paper collection is the Perennial Lavender collection, and this one is going to be a masculine layout. I am going to create a masculine layout using this paper. Haha, that'll be fun. And I'm going to be using, again, cardstock that I have. The Royal, Lagoon, Evergreen, and Craft go really well with this paper pack. And this paper pack is going to be fun to sort of play with and take in a different direction than what you would maybe typically see with a paper pack like this. So that is going to be paired with the Trusty Tools stamp and thin cut that is part of that Encore collection. And I did take the dies out of the folder. I'll set this aside and use this. I'll set this aside and store it because I really like having my dies with my stamps. And I got these magnetic sheets. They have more dies than they have stamps that go with the dies. So it's a little bit different than close to my heart, and I'll have to get used to that. But there's a lot more dies than stamps. So I just have this magnetic sheet that I got off of Amazon. It's a little bit thin. It's a 30 mil. I think these are 30 mil. Yeah, 30 mil Marietta magnetics, but I'll give them a go. I might change them out, but for right now, that seems to work, and I'll just keep them here with the stamp set. So this is going to be the masculine layout using the Perennial Lavender. And then the In Color Unbound Beauty paper pack is the last paper pack. And this is got all of the In colors that are part of 24, 26 in colors. And I'm going to be using the Sea Turtle stamp set for this. And I'm going to be using some of these, not all of these papers obviously will work, but there's enough of these papers that I think I can make work for a sea design that will come out pretty interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So again, the cardstock that I picked, I don't have any thistle. Thistle is the closest, but I did go ahead and pull wild berry, and the light side of wild berry, again, I think works. It's not quite as purple, but I think will work. And then I've got flamingo, lagoon, glacier, and nectarine. And so those are the colors I'm going to be using of cardstock to pair with the In Color Unbound Beauty. And then the Sea Turtle stamp set. All right, so again, I am going to dig into my stash to create things. Because there aren't sticker sheets, we've got to be a little bit more creative. And so I'll probably be digging into my stash to try and supplement, especially for the travel layout. I'm probably going to be using Are We There Yet? As one of the stamp sets and thin cuts that I have. So it's going to be a bit of a combination of things as part of this move over to Stampin' Up! For a little while as we try to get things organized. And I think that is it. I really appreciate, how did I do on time? Oh, I didn't do too bad, 45 minutes. So I hope that catalog walkthrough was helpful. Again, if you just head over to Facebook and ask to join the Insiders group, you will get access to those additional pieces. Like I said, the color combos and the color comparison chart I have put up there. And if I get the color wheel done before they do, then I'll put that up there as well. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your Wednesday. I hope to see you on one of my lives on Saturday. I'm doing one at 9 Pacific time, noon Pacific time, 2 Pacific time, and 4 Pacific time. So, and hopefully they'll be just roughly about an hour, doing 3 different, doing those few layouts, those 3 different layouts. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.